That one lobbed into Zandalicini. Tough shot, puts it up at the buzzer, and it's no good. The Minnesota Lynx are able to hold on. They close out the series in 2 games. And what a gutsy effort by the Valkyries, coming up just short as the top-seeded Minnesota.
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Valkyrie Reporter. I'm back at it with another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications so you know whenever I'm going live or dropping a new video. Let's get into the topics of today. The Lynx are coming to town to play the Golden State Valkyries. And yeah, you see it correctly. You see it like I do. The Valkyries have an 0-6 record against the Minnesota Lynx, but I'm confident that ends tonight. This team is not the same team that they saw before, and I think they take it into another gear to show that they can be that top tier, whether it's in the standings or in the power rankings. But it's not going to be easy, not by a long shot. I'm telling you guys, I'm still haunted by this right here.
That one lobbed into Zandalicini. Tough shot, puts it up at the buzzer, and it's no good. The Minnesota Lynx.
I'm still haunted by that one because I was in the building. For that one. I walked out. I was disappointed, but my head was high still because those girls fought their butts off the entire year into the playoffs, and they held their own against the Lynx. But I think that it was just it was inexperience that ultimately cost them that game. I mean, they were in control, as you can see, the whole game, damn near from start to finish. They even held them to 9 points in the second quarter. But as the time went on, the battle of attrition started to wear down. The experience of the vets started to kick in on the Lynx, and ultimately it came down to a last shot, and the Valkyries lost by 1. But I tell you, that game was so lit. It was at the SAP Center because I don't even think that anybody thought that they were going to make the playoffs because they got double booked at the Chase. So they had to move that game to San Jose, but it still felt like Ballhalla in there. It still felt electric. It wasn't home, but it was like the vacation home. I'll put it like that. That's the best way I could put it. And then, of course, we remember this game from June 4th. This was the infamous clapping game that we still talk about to this day where, let me show you the clip.
Salon, getting it done.
Yeah, it was this one.
They called it technical on Solon as she clapped back down the floor.
Yeah.
Nakase
was
beside
pissed.
herself.
All of us was pissed. That was the game, man. That was the game where they were up by 13. And that technical, I feel like, me personally, that's what changed the tide of the game. They were up 13 in the third quarter. It was full control. Look, here we go again, right? Valkyries pretty much controlled that game the whole game through. Once that technical hit, it was everything just went topsy-turvy from there. And that one came down to a last second shot by CC as well. But, you know, it didn't fall. That was another punch in the gut. But I still think that the playoff one hurt a little bit harder. But nevertheless, I feel like they got to get the job done tonight, right? Because when we take a look at, like, the standings, the Valkyries are in second place, right? They're currently 3 games back behind the Lynx. If they can get both of these wins against the Lynx coming up, I feel like they'll literally be in passing the baton distance of getting the first place spot. Power rankings, those are pretty opinionated, so those don't matter. But I think that if we get a win over the Lynx, we could, and depending on how they do it, they could pretty much get moved into 1 in the power rankings as well. And those are always fun to like look over and just see what the chatter is around the league or in media and how people feel about us. But yeah, I feel like this is a must win. We got 2 coming up against them. But definitely, I think that tonight is going to be a key matchup against them. Now with the Valkyries, we already know going into the game what to expect with us. Defense is going to be our bread and butter. Of course, we're still number one in opponents' points per game, still number one in opponent field goal percentage per game, and number 3 in opponent 3-point percentage per game. So defense is still. Oh, this is last year. I forgot I was looking at that playoff game. Okay, well, still looks pretty similar. Number 1 in the least amount of turnovers, number 1 in opponent point per game, number 2 in opponent's field goal percentage per game, and 6 in opponent field 3-point percent per game. 4th in steals, but I mean, our defense is solid. There's never been a question there. It's just more so the dry spells that tend to come and go, and they usually come in like the 3rd or 4th quarter. Third quarter has been held down very, very well. Like I said, I think that they've outscored their opponents in the 3rd quarter for like the past 7 games. So I would say I wouldn't worry about that. 4th quarter, sometimes it could be a little dry spell there, 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes without a basket, but they've made a habit of building these leads to a point where even if they go on a dry spell, it can get kind of scary, but they have so much of a comfortable lead, it really doesn't matter if they go on a spell. But that won't work in the playoffs. That will not work against the Lynxes, the Aces, even the Fever, who are number 1 in scoring, right? So old habits will have to die hard. It's gonna be hard to kick that, but it's gonna have to happen eventually, especially if they want to try to take this team deep into the playoffs and even to the championships. With the Lynx, I mean, just high powered across the board. Number 2 in points per game, number 2 in field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point percentage. Even their defense is no slouches either. 3rd in opponents' points per game, 3rd in opponents' 3-point percentage per game. And we know how the Valkyries love to shoot that 3-point ball. They're 1st in steals. So that's going to be pretty interesting dynamic because they're number 1 in steals, but we turn the ball over the least amount of time. So interested to see how that plays out. But I'm confident. I'm confident. Veronica Burton has been on a tear lately. I mean, she just always seems to stuff the stats sheet. Very rarely does she not have, points, rebounds, assists, and steals. But I think that we're going to have to attack the paint a little. We're going to have to mix it up, right? Like we can't just sit on the perimeter and just launch threes, especially contested threes with 8 seconds left on the clock, right? They have some big bodies under there that can bang in the paint with us. So, getting rebounds is probably going to be an issue, but they're going to have to box out like this. A lot of people try to say, oh, Super Bowl. I feel like this is our Super Bowl. We can say that tonight is a Super Bowl. I have no problem with that. If we go in there and take it to the next level and pull some new, I'm not even gonna say a rabbit out the hat, but some lions out the hat to get the job done, I'm not mad at that. If it's our Super Bowl, then that's just what it is. But something's going to have to change right here. I don't want us to go into the playoffs with a potential matchup against the Lynx being 0-8 against them. If they can get their confidence, if they don't get it tonight, which I would love, get it done tonight. But if they don't get it done tonight, they're going to have to get it done in the second match. I would love for them to take both. If they only take one, so be it, right? We just have to get over that hump. This is the only team that the Valkyries have not defeated ever. But hey, it's no time like the present, right? Ever since, let's see, Nafisa Collier has been back for a couple of weeks now. I mean, she's back right where she left off. She's averaging 19 points a game. So, I mean, and she's just all over the place, right? She can pull up with a midi. She can back you down. She can even take a couple, some threes and knock those in. Like this team is a formidable threat and a potential, they are a championship contender. Olivia Miles just across the board. She's in the running for MVP. We know she's going to clear Rookie of the Year. But I think that, of course, for us to get this win again, it's gonna have to be one of those games where everybody gets involved. Like nobody can take the night off. Everybody's gonna have to be getting theirs. Janelle Salon, we need her to get hers. Gabby Williams, we need you to, you know, be the player that you've been being, both on offense and defense. Tip, if the game is getting high pace, if it's speeding up, we need you to get in the paint, draw some fouls, slow it up. Kia, she's been doing her thing. Blocks, third in the league in blocks right now at 1.8. She's like, hats off to her. I've been giving props to Kia this whole year. She's like my unsung hero, along with Caitlin Chin. When she's in the paint, people think twice about coming in there. When they were playing against LA and she went out from injury, you can see how the dynamic changed with the Sparks players starting to attack, backing our people down. When she's there, she makes a big time difference. But going into tonight, it looks like Minnesota is the 2.5 point favorite, even in Ballhalla, where the Valkyries are on record having the best home court advantage in the league, right? I think number 2 might be like Gamebridge with the Fever, but that's saying a lot. But I think that we get the job done tonight, and I'm confident, and I'm ready for game time. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think the keys to victory are? Do you think the Valkyries are going to win? If so, by how much? Get pregame, go run your errands. Tip off is at 7 p.m. I'll be there live tweeting as usual. Well, I won't be at the game, but I'll be watching the game live tweeting. So don't forget to like the video, share it out. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out.